Welcome back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source, as we're now 20 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour, 10:40, as we're rounding out our show here. Broadcasting to you live, by the way, from the Paddock Mall. Streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. Beautiful out there right now. Blue sky, maybe a few partial clouds, but absolutely gorgeous. 78 degrees with only 80% humidity. We're looking today for a high near 88 degrees and a low around 65. A little light and variable wind. It's going to be beautiful even for tomorrow, Friday, for everything that we're going to go having on here in Ocala with President Donald Trump coming in for his rally and everything that'll go on at the Ocala International Airport, and a lot of good stuff. So with Ocala always remaining busy, that's a great segue into our next segment here with our show, as we've got Kathy Bryant, County Commissioner, on the phone as we talk a little bit more about what's going on with the community. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. I have to tell you, that was one of the peppiest weather reports I think I've ever heard.
Well, when the sun's shining, it's easy to do. I know how to take the demeanor when it's sunshine and rainbows, how to sell it, and when it's time for the demeanor for, like we had last week with the expectations of the tropical storm hurricane. I know how to delve it down just a little bit to make it sound a little bit more important and serious, like a good Tom Brokaw.
Well, and to not talk about this weather, I think, would be just terrible, because it is absolutely beautiful out there for sure.
Absolutely.
This is a Chamber of Commerce weather.
That's right. That's right. Now, we have you on the phone today. Unfortunately, couldn't have you in the studio, but that's okay. As we have you on the phone to discuss a few things going on within the county, and I was going to ask you what you'd like to start with first, because we do have a few things to get to, and I was going to leave it up to you what you want to get started with first.
All right. Well, good. I like that. Well, I think, as always, let's go ahead and start with our COVID-19 report for the county. I think it's extremely important for citizens of Marion County to know that we continue to trend in the right direction as far as COVID is concerned. I believe last week we had a positivity rate of under 5%, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. We wanted to see those numbers trending downwards, and that is what they have continued to do since the beginning of August, I believe. Once we got past that correctional facility outbreak,
right.
The numbers did exactly what we knew they were going to do, which was start to trend downwards. So, we're very thankful for that. And the health department is back to still testing 2 days a week for anyone who wants to be tested. You don't have to be sick. They do those tests twice a week, 2 days a week, Tuesday and Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. They also are offering testing for schools Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, those tests are by appointment, and they're currently working with emergency management to look at implementing testing at points of care, so within schools, nursing homes, and long-term care facilities. And as we continue to move forward, we're continuing to encourage people to follow the CDC guidelines in terms of social distancing, wearing face coverings when social distancing is not possible. And certainly the most important ones: wash your hands, don't go to work if you're sick, don't go out in public if you're sick, stay home. The things that we were taught when we were in elementary school: wash your hands.
Right. Absolutely. Now, with that is a small segue into mentioning what we have on our docket. Just to reiterate to those listening that Marion County Services, Community Services with the Federal CARES Act, still saying that there is, for those who need assistance with rent, mortgage, or utility payments due to COVID-19, there's still an opportunity to call or speak with Community Services representative. That's correct?
Correct, and this is for anyone behind on rent or mortgage payments from March 1st until now, or 30 days past due on utility bills for electricity, natural gas, cell phone, internet, or cable. So if you've experienced any lost income or reduction in pay due to COVID-19, or you've seen additional household expenses because of schools and daycare closing, you may be eligible for assistance. So just make sure that if you've experienced any of those things, or if you are behind on your rent, mortgage, or your utility payments due to COVID-19, please call 877-671-8770 to speak with a community services representative. And I'm going to give that number again, just in case somebody out there does need assistance and they're scrambling to try to find something to write this number down. That's 352-671-8770, and someone within community services will be happy to help you.
Gotcha. So good stuff there, just to reiterate for those who may need that assistance. Well, moving on a little bit to the idea of, I was going to say with outside of that, just knowing that with this year, the census has been a big part of 2020, and just to reiterate some stuff going on with the census.
Yes, absolutely, and we've done really well, done better this time around than we did last time. And so our self-response rate at this point is better than 2010. We're at 66.7%. We're also ahead of the state average at 63.7%. So once again, Marion County, jumping ahead of everybody else in the state. But we still have a little bit of time left to boost that response rate even higher. And I think it's really important that people understand that our census results determine our representation in state and federal government. So they also determine how more than $1.5 trillion in federal funding will be allocated throughout the country. So that's money that Marion County may receive for health care, infrastructure, schools, housing, and assistance for families in need. Now, it only takes about 10 minutes to respond. And again, if you haven't responded yet for your household, please head to my2020census.gov to respond today. Time is running out, and we do need every person in Marion County counted. As I said, it makes a difference for our representation at state and local government, or state and federal government. If our numbers are high enough, we could possibly get our own congressional seat right here in Marion County.
Oh, wow.
And how awesome would that be to have someone from Marion County specifically representing Marion County?
Absolutely.
And then also it matters on the allocation of the federal dollars that come in for healthcare, infrastructure, schools, that's very important. Housing and assistance for families in need.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great segue into the idea of voting as we wrap up the information about the census. As early voting in Marion County begins Monday, as there are 9 early voting locations throughout the county, including Marion County Election Center in Ocala, as well as Bellevue, Dunellen, Forest, Freedom Public Libraries, Mulberry Center in the Villages, the Reddick Center, and all that good stuff as early voting locations are opening up.
Yes, they are. So they will open Monday, and they will be open through October 31st from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you mentioned most of them. A couple that we didn't mention were the Silver Spring Shores Community Center and the Deputy Brian Litz building housing the Southwest District of the Marion County Sheriff's Office. So, for anyone who doesn't want to wait until Election Day, if you've done your research, done your homework, and you know who you're voting for and how you're voting on the amendments, please take advantage of the early voting that will be going on starting Monday through October 31st. And if you, I certainly encourage everyone in Marion County to exercise their right to vote, whether it's by early voting at an early voting location or whether it's by mail-in ballot or at the polls on Election Day. And if you have any questions regarding voting locations, they can be found, any questions about voting locations and the election, those answers and details can be found at votemarion.gov. Now, the Supervisor of Elections cannot tell you how to vote, but they can give you detailed information on the amendments, and then also, you can look at the sample ballots. And I've had some questions, since we're talking about voting, I had some questions about mail-in ballots, and I want to assure everyone that's listening today that Wesley Wilcox, our Supervisor of Elections here in Marion County, runs a tight ship And as I can't remember if I'm a 3 or 4-time canvassing board member now, there are multiple steps that each ballot that is returned, each mail-in ballot that is returned to your Marion County Supervisor of Elections goes through for validation to make sure that that ballot is being returned by the registered voter who requested it. And I can also assure you that everyone in Marion County you only get counted one time. So they run a tight ship down there. They do a great job of verifying each envelope that comes in there. And then we have what is called the canvassing board that canvasses any ballot that may be in question. And all of this is open to the public. So you actually can watch the process, and they do a great job. And I'm very confident in our supervisor of elections, and I want to make sure that our general public is as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, too, is the mentioning, too, we might want to get to, as we brought it up a little bit last time you were here, was the idea of the penny sales tax and some information that's come through it. And you want to touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So our Marion County voters are, as we know, that we just said that's going to be heading to fall starting next week. And one choice that's going to be on the ballot is whether or not to renew our penny sales tax for another 4 years. And since 2017, just reminding everyone, the revenue from our 1% county sales tax has allowed us to make major improvements on Marion County's roadways and in our public safety infrastructure. And I want everyone to understand that tax revenue only goes to fund roads and public safety infrastructure. It does not fund anyone's salary or any recurring costs. Mm-hmm. And as we talked about last week, and we've talked about on several occasions, that penny sales tax has already paid for resurfaced 53 miles of road in Marion County. And with road construction costing approximately $1.5 million per mile, I think everyone can understand that those projects would not have happened without that penny sales tax. We've had many projects in the long-term transportation plan that we absolutely couldn't do without the penny sales tax. And then we've also got other projects within public safety, within Marion County Fire Rescue, and within the Sheriff's Department that, again, there's no money for those. And so it's been a very beneficial tool for our county to catch up where we got behind during the recession, and also, to continue to keep up with the infrastructure in transportation and public safety. It also allowed our first responders to do their job safer, quicker, and more efficiently. So it's been a very good thing for our community. It's meant that everyone has contributed to the services that we all use, mm-hmm. instead of just property owners. And one of the other things I think that is important for our listeners to know is that 30% of the money generated by the penny sales tax comes from people that just pass through our community that, again, do use those services. I'm sure we've all had times where we've seen fire rescue up on I-75 or at the sheriff's office. Also, our roads are being used by people that come into our county to go to work, and this is a way for everyone to contribute, again, to the services that we all use.
Absolutely, absolutely. So a lot of good stuff there. And then lastly, just to mention is some of the other events to mention that will be going on as well.
Absolutely. So the County Commission will be delivering the 2020 State of the County address November 12th at 7 p.m. at the County Commission Auditorium. And each commissioner will relate what's going on in their individual districts, and I will speak on the state of the county as a whole. The event is open to the public and will be streamed live on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Marion County, Florida. Our super excited to give the residents of Marion County, the state of Marion County, this has been a very different year than any other year any of us have ever experienced. And at the end of the day, Marion County has, while it, we've had some people that we've lost, and of course we pray for their families, and we certainly send out our condolences. Our county as a whole has come through this a lot better than some other counties have. And so we want our citizens to know what the state of the county is at this time. Lots of things going on in Marion County. As we've talked about before, I think, originally we thought that COVID would slow things down in Marion County economically, and with growth in building. And that's, it has been the case in some areas, but for the most part, it hasn't been the case. So we want to give our citizens that update. And then also, we're all seeing it. I walked into a department store yesterday, and they had their Christmas trees up already.
Yep.
I remember when that never happened until after Thanksgiving, and that's a whole other subject. I won't go there, but anyway, holidays are right around the corner, and we are gearing up for this year's Bring the Harvest Home Holiday Food Drive, and we'll be collecting non-perishable food items and baby items on the downtown Ocala Square Friday, December 4th from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You can also drop off those items as well as hygiene products at a wide variety of locations across the county. All our drop-off locations are listed on our website at bringtheharvesthome.com. This is our community's annual food drive for our community's citizens in need. This is our community's chance to help our neighbors in need, and it's become an annual event. And we are so grateful that we get to give back to our community in this way.
Absolutely. Well, Kathy, we appreciate it as we're coming up to the top of the hour here. Thank you for taking the time to give us a little shout to know what's going on within the community. Got a lot of good stuff there. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share some good news.
Absolutely. County Commissioner, District 3, Kathy Bryant, we appreciate it, and you guys have a great rest of the week. More AM Ocala Live when we come back. We're going to take a short little break. We'll be back after this.
Ocala. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today will be partly sunny with a high of 87 to 90, partly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 75. Then Friday, look for a mix of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in the area and a high of 86 to 88. Saturday will be mostly sunny, high on Saturday 86 to 88. Then Sunday we'll have a blend of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in parts of the area in the afternoon. High on Sunday 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
WOCA. Ocala.
And that'll do it for AM Ocala Live on this Thursday. As we say, stay tuned for tomorrow. We got a good show for you lined up to finish out the week. And with AM Ocala Live to gear up for what we have going on with the community, as President Donald Trump will be coming into the Ocala International Airport in order to keep his campaign rolling prior to the election. So good stuff there. So stay tuned for tomorrow's show. Special thanks to Joe and to Tish. Thanks to Galen as well as Kathy Bryant. Up next, Ocala Talks, Tom Schmitz. Stay tuned. We'll be back. AM Ocala Live, that'll do it. And until tomorrow, everybody, goodbye.